My name's Barry Powell. I'm a plastic surgeon but with a particular interest in all forms of skin cancer, and I'm based at St George's Hospital in Tooting in South London. Well, malignant melanoma is a rare skin cancer, but having said that, we're beginning to see its incidence rising, and it appears to be getting commoner, particularly in people in the United Kingdom. The thing with malignant melanoma is it arises on your skin. What will happen is that you will get a pigmented or a coloured spot that will occur on your skin, something like a mole. It may indeed have been a mole that's been there a long time, but that it's changed, and it is that change is the most important part. A change, here we're looking for something where a mole gets bigger, it gets darker, or it becomes irregular. And if you notice a mole that does that, that is a mole that needs to be examined by your doctor. The people who are most at risk are obviously going to be white people and people with particularly fair skin, blue-eyed, fair hair. They're highly at risk because they've got a very sun-sensitive skin. This is a sun-related skin cancer, and the people who tend to get it are people who have had a lot of sun in the past, and particularly in their late teens, early 20s, where they've probably had some degree of sun burning. One of the most important things about melanoma is that the risks of it spreading is directly related to what we call the thickness. So the thicker or the bigger the mole has become, the more likely it is to spread. If there is a risk it could spread, then one of the most common ways it likes to spread is through the lymph system. And there are certain tests that can be offered to have a look and see if the cancer has spread to the lymph system. For malignant melanoma, the mainstay of treatment is surgery. In the early stages, surgery is the gold standard. The problem comes when malignant melanoma spreads, and it can spread to other parts of the body, and if it does, then surgery does not become the main treatment, and one has to look at chemotherapy or drug treatment. Occasionally, one may consider radiotherapy. If you operate early, and by that means you present to your doctor early and the diagnosis made early, then you can effect a cure. The thinner the melanoma, the more likely you are to get a cure. That doesn't mean to say if it is thicker that you will die, but the problem is as it gets thicker, the risks of your melanoma spreading to other parts of your body increase. So the quicker we can and the earlier we can operate, the better. The mainstay to try and minimize the risk of getting malignant melanoma is what we would call sun avoidance. Now, by that I don't mean that you hide away from the sun all the time, because we do know that sun is good for you, but you really must avoid sunburning. Sunburning is the factor that seems to cause skin cancer. The single most important thing is that if you have a mole, or you have a member of your family or friend who has a mole that has changed or that you are suspicious about, then take it to your general practitioner. And if your general practitioner is concerned, they will refer it to a skin specialist unit. That is essential.